Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GFI Racing League podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome to our winners interview episode. This will be with our Week 14 Cup Series winner and then our Week 11 Xfinity, GT3, and ARCA winners. So I hope y'all enjoy these interviews. For the first time, I think we've got a double interview, so y'all enjoy that. That was pretty cool and fun to do. But let's jump right into our first interview with our Cup Series winner, Jacob Hoskins. All right, we're now with Jacob Hoskins in the number 23 for Aftershock. He's our Cup winner this week at Charlotte. You led 8 laps of this race, not a lot of laps. You started P21, worked your way through the field. So my first question for you today is, how did you hunt through the field at Charlotte and find yourself in the lead? This is a really tight track, sometimes hard to pass. How'd you do that?
Getting into the race, I had a horrible qualifying run, and I knew I wasn't the fastest. I knew I had top 10 speed in practice. I was running in the top 10 consistently, but I didn't think I was the fastest. So when we got into the race and the track conditions changed, I was able to wrap the bottom of the track really, really well.
Okay.
And I think over that time, I was saving tire. I actually was on a different tire strategy than everyone else.
What was that?
The one part of the broadcast where I had dropped all the way to the very back, that was because I was on old tires. I had decided not to take tires in that first pit stop, and I took tires in the next one, and I just started wrapping the bottom, and I was going through the field, and I was able to hold that bottom line all the way around the track, and it was helped me get speed on the exits each corner.
So, do you remember when we were we did the whole veterans caution and whatnot? We had 40-something to go. So, at that point, did you still have 2 tires, or did you have one set in the pits?
I believe I still had 2 at
Okay.
that point in time. And
Okay,
I think I
yeah.
took tires the next caution.
I was in the same strategy with you then a little bit, utilizing that. I thought it worked well as well. And another question I got for you is, Grant McDonald led 33 laps, pretty dominant in this race. What did it take for you to overcome him, or what did he fall short on?
I just don't think he had the right strategy because when I got
Okay.
my way up to the top 5, he wasn't there. It came down to me and Hightower were battling it out because on the last restart, we kind of pulled away from the pack. And then it was just me and him, and I just had the better tire running my line. And I obviously had the speed, but passing him was a different thing. I could get to him. It was getting by him that was the hardest.
And what were some of the challenges that you faced in this race, if there were any, coming up that far in the field?
I would say it's definitely the traffic in front of me and people able to run the high line. Because the high line, it had a much better exit than I could do. I could wrap the bottom and get past them, but if I didn't get past them by the end of the turn, they would fly right by me on the outside. And that's what was one of the hardest things to pass Hightower for the win, is that he was running the high side. And so anytime I dropped to the bottom and try to get by him and didn't clear him by exit of the corner, he would just fly right by.
So how did you ultimately get that done in the end?
Coming to the tribal, I'm not proud of it, but we got together. It was not intentional. He just he didn't know where I was at. I didn't know where he was at, and we got together in the front straightaway. They deemed it as a racing incident, but because of that, I was able to get by him into the enter of turn 1. And then as soon as I was in the clean air and I was past him, it was smooth sailing from there.
Hey, those kind of things happen, racing hard for the lead. And are there any other tracks that you have confidence on to win on again?
This week at Nashville.
Really? Okay.
I've ran good at Nashville before. Uh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this time. I really like a lot of the intermediate tracks. Charlotte, I honestly thought I was gonna lose qualifying 21st. I was like, oh, this is gonna be just another loss, and then I found myself working my way to the field. I'm like, okay, I have actual pace here. I have something to work with, and so that's what we had.
Well, awesome. And you're locked into the championship with that win, or at least the championship playoffs. Do you feel good for Phoenix? And if you get there, what are some tracks that you feel worried about?
So I've taken a minor look at the schedule. This league has kind of been like a off and on part-time thing. I was kind of
Okay.
just doing it to see how I felt, get my feet wet, and then I won at Charlotte. And I'm like, oh, I gotta start taking this serious now. I gotta get prepared for the playoffs. And so I took a look at the schedule. I would say Bristol is a strong suit of me. I've ran fast there. Phoenix, I honestly do not know. I've only ran it one time in a league race and cup, and I think I ran decent. I was in the top five most of the race until I got wrecked. Um, so it really just depends on how the field is looking, what the weather's like. I think I have pace at Phoenix, but like I said, it's just going to depend what happens.
I believe we visit Bristol again in the playoffs, but did you race with us pre-playoffs at Bristol, or no? Or did you not show up for that one?
I did race at that one, and I
Okay.
worked my way from last to the top 10 before I got wrecked by a driver
Oh.
and was out of the race.
Okay, well, it's Bristol. It's tight. It happens. And before we get you out of here, I got one last question for you. What's one thing other drivers could learn from you?
Um, One of the biggest things that helped me win at Charlotte was patience. I think the hardest thing I had to overcome racing in leagues, and I actually definitely it definitely showed proof in Charlotte was my patience. Like I would get on the throttle way too fast, end up in the wall, and my car would be done by then.
Hmm.
But each lap, I kept telling myself, "All right, I got good pace. If someone passes me, let them burn their stuff up. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna run my own race." And it worked out. I ran my own race and managed to make it to the front.
Man, sometimes I'm in that same mindset and it doesn't work out. People just keep passing me and I never get it back. But that's some really great advice. And is there anything else that you wanted to mention before we get you out of here? Anything you want to mention about this team maybe that you've launched?
I do gotta say the Aftershock is the team I own and run. Yeah, we're definitely looking for more drivers. Aftershock Motorsports. I started it with a buddy of mine I met in the Navy while I was waiting to get discharged. We both liked racing, and he said he wanted to get into iRacing, and I said okay. We got together, started up the team in the beginning of August 2023.
Okay.
Um, the team didn't officially start in any leagues until early 2024. So we've been up for a year officially when we actually started racing in a league. Um, but yeah, we race an IndyCar team, and we have two Cup teams now in GFI and in Vantage uh, Racing. I'm starting to
Okay.
make GFI a official series, like a roster. We just assigned a driver onto our roster there. It's actually the number 52, Andrew Littman. We signed him onto the roster. So we actually have the team's been up for 1 year, and we
Oh wow.
have uh, 5 career wins across 2 leagues. So we're getting up there. We got a driver competing for a championship tomorrow night in a different league.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Well, wishing you the best of luck in that.
Hopefully we win. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's really cool. So if you guys are looking for a team, make sure you're looking at this team because they're doing pretty good and they're all across different series. So that's amazing. And thank you so much for your time today, for your interview and your great advice. Congratulations on the win and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Take care. See you later. Really cool interview with Jacob Hoskins there. He had a lot of wonderful information for us in that one, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. I definitely did. Let's go ahead and get on into our Xfinity and GT3 race winner interview with Kyle Hayne, pulling the double. I also had Austin Sheff, our designated broadcaster, join me for this one, so hope y'all enjoy. All right, we're now with Kyle Hayne, driver of the number 87 car for Skewer Cat Racing, and he's got some big wins this week. 2 wins, an Xfinity win and a GT3 win. Did a really good job this week in both those races. He won the Chicago Street Course, where he led 23 laps, just a really impressive job there. And my first question for you is, what were some of the challenges at the Chicago Street Course?
Well, the first one is starting second. I had a very bad qualifying. We're not real very bad because there's like I was still qualified second, so it's not entirely bad.
No.
But getting thrown past Michael was pretty good.
Oh, expand on this thrown past.
So I guess from what Kyle Purcell said, he said that I braked a little bit too early, and then he just bumped me, and I like shot around the outside. So I took the lead in turn one.
So I was behind the leaders. I did kind of agree. We might have hit the brakes in second gear a little bit too early. We weren't exactly at race speed, but we got going and it ended up being somewhat all right. There was I think one guy in there who didn't end up having it too great.
What were the emotions when you lost the lead?
They were pretty. My emotions weren't the greatest. You could probably watch back the Twitch stream of Purcell.
Okay.
I was like, there's no way I'm winning this. He got newer tires during the pit stop, and then I pitted, and then I think when he went into the pits, he was like a second behind me, and then when I came out of pits the next lap, he was 2 or 3 seconds in front of me,
Yeah, it was
and
impressive.
then yeah, that was a good strategy call, and then I caught up to him, sort of, and then I was like maybe 6, 8 tenths behind him, maybe like something like that, and we're going into turn 6, and he just locks up, and I was like, okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
my only chance to pass him. And then
Mm-hmm.
I go around the corner, and there's already a spun car there. So,
And I know you were confident coming here. How did it feel to actually pull it off?
well, I did a whole bunch of practice, and I mean that's kind of one of the biggest things for a track you haven't really driven before, and the practice just helped the confidence kind of build up and just pace from the practice, obviously. So,
Okay.
You seem to find speed on circuits and road courses. What is it that you struggle with on ovals?
my background from starting this endeavor into iRacing is mainly just road, and I haven't really started to do or mainly just oval. So I'm still more on the road side. It's probably like 70-30. So if I want to get better on oval, then obviously just have to put more effort and all that, try to get better.
Fair enough. And we may jump into trucks next season. Is that something we'll see you in?
Possibly. The main thing is just buying tracks and stuff because all the tracks I own are all road, and I own like probably 5, maybe 6 oval tracks. So mainly just
All right.
buying tracks is the biggest thing.
Well, you're able to get it done in the Xfinity car on this road course. We hope to see you perform and improve on the ovals. So let's jump into the GT3 race that you won at Olton Park. You led 21 laps in this race, did a really good job. You didn't start on pole. What did it take to make the necessary passes and win this race?
Well, I messed up in qualifying once again, and so yeah, I qualified third. I think I was a second behind Michael Shaw, and so going into the final turn on the last lap, I just send up the inside of Kyle Purcell, and we like arranged that going into that corner kind of, and I was like, we're probably just gonna swap positions here,
Okay.
and then I caught up to Michael going into the second chicane, and he just got a little bit loose, and he just let me by. So
Fair enough.
We know you started late in the season. What could a run like this mean for you across the full season? Would you be a championship driver?
I'm not gonna say I would be, but I mean, from the pace I've already had in GT3, it's most likely possibility that it'll probably happen.
Well, I've heard this one quote across the internet. It goes something like, speak things into existence. So, I mean, going ahead and saying it might just work out for you. You're on a team full of well-rounded drivers. How do y'all find speed and stay consistent?
On the oval, it's mainly just Purcell in this
Mm-hmm.
in this part of the year, but mainly on road, it's all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all fast on road and all that.
A lot of the portion of the race, it was just the top three SCR cars up there in the top three, just doing a really great job being fast and making minimal mistakes. It's a really good job there.
And in Road America, we got the triple podium, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to replicate that for this week. And I believe Kyle got spun off the nose of Cody, but it wasn't really anyone's fault. It's just a racing incident. And Michael just had an incident as well later in the race, so he lost the P2 to Tyler.
Okay.
So yeah, we're trying to replicate that, and just didn't happen. So we'll try to do it next week, maybe, or this week, I guess.
Awesome.
Even if you don't win this championship, do you feel you may win the championship race next week?
I mean, first I got to buy Coda and then just do practice. I've driven Coda in like the F1 games, but it's not very realistic, I guess you could say, compared to this game.
Mhm.
So just got to do some practice and hopefully get the win, maybe, and see you guys back here again. Hopefully.
Well, Coda's my home track, so how are you gonna win if I win? You know, I mean, I just don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know. I probably
Well,
won't
just
end up being
gotta-
that strong.
Just got to speed up, man. You got to catch up.
Indeed. And what are you looking forward to about the next seasons after these ones close?
For the next season, about maybe week 4 or 5 or something like that, maybe even earlier. Like I said last week, I should be getting the new setup, hopefully, and
Okay.
that might improve the pace and all that. So I'll try to win the championship next year or next season. Sorry, and just like you said, speak it into existence and all that.
Real quick, last question before I get you out of here. Do you think that this new setup is going to temporarily slow you down before it speeds you up, or no, you think you're just going to take off running with it?
I mean, of course, whenever you get something new, it takes a little bit of experience to get used to it. So probably not straight away, but eventually, yeah, I'll probably get faster than I am right now.
All right. Austin, do you have anything more for Kyle?
I don't think so, but I will say I wish you the best of luck in the future races.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the double whammy this week. Real good job there. Looking forward to seeing you again. Congratulations and take care. Good luck.
Thank you.
Another fun interview with Kyle Hain. Those SCR drivers are real fast. And it was fun to have Austin join me in on it. So thank you for joining, Austin. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. I feel like we're going to get to know Austin very well because he's quick, just so quick. So till we talk to him next, without further ado, let's get into our ARCA race winner interview with Dylan Hartman. All right, we're now with Dylan Hartman, driver the number 90 for FHR and our winner at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in the ARCA series. A really good job of getting the win. You led only 4 laps. You kept yourself in position all day to make that pass when it really mattered. And how did you measure yourself out to get the pass done in these last 4 laps?
I don't really know, to be honest. Just stand calm and collected and stand within the track and not overdriving the corner and staying really smooth coming off the corner. Sometimes you get tight, sometimes you get loose, so that's really the big key of it. Lucas really was just, I feel like, pushing through the first couple laps too hard, so I think that's why I got it done. I think I was the best saver through that whole race, so yeah.
Would you call yourself a pretty strong short track racer? Because I believe this was your first time on this track in this car.
I would say that's my best area in racing is just short tracks. I bought that track 20 minutes before, so.
Yeah, it's impressive that you picked it up so quick. That's amazing. And the championship ends next week. What do you expect for that race? Do you think you can win it?
Honestly, no, because I feel like Kyle Purcell is going to be in that one, so I'm not really too confident in that. Not really good on, I think we're going to Michigan, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm not really good on those bigger tracks like that. So it's Las Vegas. We're going to Vegas. So I'm not really good on bigger tracks like that. So I'm not too confident in that.
Okay, so it's when we go to short tracks, you're more looking forward to the race and you're feeling better about it. Our mile and a half's just not your strong. How do you feel on super speedways? You pretty good there?
Well, yeah. I feel like anybody's good there with the draft and all that. It's really just stick with the draft and you should be all right. But I feel like I'm pretty strong there too. Yeah.
And you have had multiple wins in some of these series. I haven't been able to talk to you quite yet. Is there anything that you wanted to mention about some of those previous wins?
No. Just luck. Drive it in deep over 6.
Fair enough. Well, you've done a really good job across the ARCA series. You've set yourself up well for sure, and you've got some good points. You're not in the top 3 for the championship, but hey, anything can happen next week possibly. I mean, if 3 guys don't show up, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
But what's one thing you think other drivers could learn from you?
That's a good question. They should learn from me that, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's a tough one a little bit that I ask each driver when they do their first winter interview that I'm able to get with them, of course.
Yeah.
Sometimes people got it right away. Sometimes it takes a little moment to think, for sure.
The saving part of the race, like the saving tires.
Fair enough.
I feel like I'm really good at that.
What was the biggest challenge of the day you had at Nashville?
Really just not knowing the track. I mean, like I said, I bought the track 20 minutes prior, and I only had that 3 laps for qualifying. So that's like the biggest problem I had. But also getting around the people. I mean, that high line was really, really good and all that. And I couldn't really pass them on the high line because they were just already up there.
So you chose the low line to be your dominant line. That's ultimately the line that you passed Lucas on.
Yeah, I chose the low line on most of the people, but when I was able to get on top of them, I got on top of them. I would much rather be up there than on the bottom.
Were you nervous in the end that you might not get that pass on Lucas? Do you think he might have done anything to you or anything?
Yeah, I feel like if when I got by him, if I wouldn't have let him bump me and get him loose, he definitely would have wrecked me. So that's probably the biggest part about passing Lucas.
Well, you've been a part of some amazing finishes. I've been behind you for the last two. I saw your Xfinity win, and that was an amazing battle for the lead, and so was this one. You always seem to do a good job closing it out in the end and coming through and getting it done. So congratulations on the win, and well done on the day. Anything else you wanted to say before we get you out of here?
Thank you to Cliff Chanel for buying me that track. If I wouldn't have gotten the money from him, I wouldn't have won that race. So thank you to Cliff.
Why'd you do that, Cliff? Leave some room for the rest of us, man.
He's a great guy, great guy.
He is. Yeah, that is just so awesome that you got the track like 20 minutes before the race and boom, you got it done. I mean, impressive. Well done. Congratulations. Hope we'll be talking to you again. See you later.
See ya.
Fun first time interview with Dylan Hartman there. He's got this skill where he can just show up places sometimes for the first time and just take it over and win or come really, really close. He's had some really hard battles for some of the wins that he's got, and they've just looked amazing because I've been able to witness some of them from further back. But yeah, really strong driver. Can't wait for the next interview with him. Hope y'all enjoyed that one, and hope y'all enjoyed this episode, because that is the end of this episode. So make sure you guys tune in on Monday for our Cup race broadcasted at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Tune in on Sunday for the episode of the podcast, the regular episode, and then come back Wednesday for some more winter interviews. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and take care.